Hi.
Hi everyone, welcome to Powerful Conversations with Powerful Women. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Viktoria. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your surname. Maybe you can help me with that.
No worries. Soltesz, it's a Hungarian name. It's hard, so
Okay.
we give you
I
that.
should have asked you before I pressed record. But yes,
No worries.
I will. This conversation is here to inspire people with stories of powerful women, and that's why I invited Viktoria to come and join us. So delighted to have you here today, Viktoria.
Thank you.
Why don't you start by introducing yourself to everybody, who you are, what you do, etc.
Sure, and thank you very much, Claire, for the invite for this show. I was really excited to join you guys and share a bit more of my story. My name is Viktoria Soltesz, as you said, and actually my story started back in Cyprus, where I started up as an accountant. So originally, that's my profession. So I started. I don't even know if I dare to say it, more than 15 years ago. Let's not put actual numbers to that. But yeah, it's almost 20 years now. But yeah, I started off when Cyprus was a big hub for company incorporation. There was a lot of companies who wanted to take the business online, and back at the day, it was much more easier to pick a country what you like the benefits of, and obviously the different taxation structures. Still staying within Europe and start your business. So I was catering for these kind of clients, and actually I was born in Hungary, so I speak Hungarian. So I gathered more and more Hungarian speaking clients, which they came to me other than for the accounting company itself. So I could call them my own clients. Later on, I was joined with other different type of clientele. I don't know if you know, but Cyprus is really big on brokerages for tax benefits. So I had more and more brokerages and forex companies and different exchanges. So once I had my own clientele, I started to provide outsourced CFO, Chief Financial Officer services, and started to teach at the university as well, teaching accounting modules. And later on, when my clients started to ask me that, yes, I understand, Viktoria, that tax benefits are good, because obviously I was not just doing the accounting, but help them with the taxation structures and whatnot. They asked me that once the tax is sorted, help us to deal with banks, because the banks are the ones who are giving us the real headache. They're asking a lot of questions. They are blocking the transactions. They freeze our funds, and we just don't know who to trust. And that's what I was intrigued to learn more about the industry, mainly when it comes to these special type of clients, the brokerages, the investment companies, as I mentioned, insurance companies, because somehow they are considered from the banking perspective as higher risk type of clients. That means there is a higher chance of wrongdoing, money laundering. Obviously, there is a license involved when we are talking about financial companies, so holding other people's funds. So I was really interested in this industry and wanted to find out the answers for myself to be able to explain to my clients. And I just went down the rabbit hole. I was speaking to different banks and different compliance groups to really understand how banks think and what is the reason that they are digging deep in certain transactions, in certain jurisdictions, in certain companies. And even though that your activity might be completely legal and there's nothing wrong with that, if the bank does not have the capability for checking your transactions and being present in the industry, meaning that if they don't know how, for example, crypto transactions work, you can be legal as you want. They are not going to accept you simply because they cannot be sure that whatever you do is to the book, because they just don't have the compliance personnel sometimes. So there could be very subjective reasons why you get rejected. So this company actually started to catch up really, really well after the incorporation. And now I have more than 2,500 clients, almost 3,000 now, who was reaching out to me looking for bank accounts, merchant accounts, the Visa, MasterCard acceptance on the website. And we set up a consultancy around these problems. So we help people and help businesses, online businesses, to understand why they get rejected, who are the providers who are still taking them, what is the fee to be expected, how to appear lower risk in the eyes of the compliance of the bank, how to move money in a safe and much more risk-free, safer manner. And now we even do consulting for financial institutions, for banks, neobanks, these online banking applications of how to enter the market for the higher risk, therefore higher profit companies, as well as advise them how to balance out the portfolio, how high risk is too high risk, how to price the financial products. But whatever has money in it, and then if there is a need for that, then we can definitely help when it comes to payment, moving funds, accepting funds from the clients, entering new jurisdictions, for example. What are the preferred payment method? Let's say, I don't know, in Africa, people don't use cards; they like mobile payments. So all these kind of aspects, we have a lot of consulting work, and yes, this is the two businesses now that I'm running. Still have my accounting and audit and tax advisory part in Cyprus, setting up companies and advising on the taxation. But the majority of my time is really focused on these payment questions and clients.
So I find that the whole thing completely fascinating. I suppose there's one side is the content of what you do, but I think also when listening to your story and how you got to where you were, I definitely have this sense that you potentially started off by following a passion that you had, like choosing the place that you wanted to be in and the area you wanted to work in. Is that right?
Yes, and I think it's not only the passion, it's really my curiosity, because I wanted to know the answers. I did not accept a no. Why? Because I said so kind of answer. I did not accept it. I truly believe that everything has a reason behind it. And once you understand the reason, that's when you have these aha moments. And the other very important thing that I learned through my journey is that it's always easier to find a supply to the demand than find the demand to your supply. So you can be the best consultant or the best accountant or the best this and that. You will spend a lot of time, energy, and obviously marketing budget in order to get yourself known to the open public. However, when you are dealing with problems that no one else deals with, but actually there is a need for that, and you can be a specialist in a very special area, clients will come organically. Right now, we are not really doing any kind of marketing other than, obviously we have a website and I'm going to different conferences to speak. But the clients come to us because they know that we have the answer even before they ask the question. I know you, I know what are your questions, what are your problems, who is the provider who is going to accept you, what is going to be the challenge, because I dealt with many of yous. And within this industry, I truly believe that that's the reason that we could get so far so quick, because we are not really promoting any service, any financial product. We represent everyone and no one, so we can be brutally honest, saying that no, whatever you hope for is not going to work, or do this, otherwise you're going to pay too much. Many times people are going to sales, and the sales are telling them that we are the safest, we are the cheapest, bring us the millions. But are they though? And when it comes to high risk, the risk is not only on the client who is applying for these accounts, but actually on the providers as well. So it's a combination of both. But the blue ocean strategy is, in my opinion, is much easier to penetrate the market with this kind of mindset.
Yeah, but I think that's really interesting. So I think a lot of female entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in general that are out there can struggle quite a lot with defining exactly what their service offering is and who they're offering it to. And I think that it's very inspirational to see what you've been able to achieve just by following your curiosity and really listening to what people's needs are, and responding, and how that has, the concept in itself has evolved beautifully into two businesses that covers the world, and is in very high demand, and what sounds like to be a very loyal business as well. So I think that's really inspiring for people out there who are a little bit uncertain. Have you had any sort of periods along the journey where you've had moments of self-doubt or challenges that you've faced?
Yes, I think everybody is going through that. And the question is that how do you handle these obstacles to be able to come out successfully on that? I learned that you always need to see what's the positive in every situation. And trust me, there is always a positive in every situation, even if it's just, okay, I've been there, done that, learned from it, I will avoid it next time. Of course, I made a lot of mistakes as well. I think everybody needs to go through this journey to be able to fine tune and their operation, and really understand themselves as leaders and managers, and really see that how do you prioritize your time, who are the colleagues that you are picking, and who is even the client that you are talking to. Many of us, there is a 70-30 rule, right? The 70% of our clients are giving 30% of the income. So why don't we flip it around and try to focus more on the 30% of those clients who are giving the 70% of our income, right? And you need to learn this in a hard way. But this is also good, because even if it's bad, it's good because it's happening. It teaches you things, and it shows you a way of how other opportunities, how other ways you can use to achieve something. So in my opinion, it's very necessary. Even the failures are good that it's happening, because that's the life of an entrepreneur, and that's how you learn how to trust yourself at the end of the day. So it's good.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think there's you can go out and you can read or buy all the books you want to. You can speak to all the people you want to, get all the advice that there is out there. But until you've actually experienced something and you've lived it and felt it viscerally, it's very difficult to really get what it's like to be in these situations. And of course, everybody has different learnings they're going to get from every situation that comes. And I think what's incredible is that it's very easy to look at other people and think, oh, they've had it easy and it's been a really easy journey, but you just don't know what's gone on behind the scenes, and where the failures have been, and where the moments of self-doubt have been. And we all have them. And I think there's a certain amount of comfort in knowing that we all have these challenges.
I agree. And I usually see the whole entrepreneurship lifestyle as some kind of like a video game, right? You need to pass level 1, and once you know level 1 and you're comfortable around level 1, because you know where the monsters are coming from, then you can go to level 2 and level 3. But the whole idea behind it is to enjoy. It's not about finishing level 1, finishing level 2. It's just the joy, what you get out of that. Okay, what's on the next level? How more can I improve? And never be afraid of moving slowly. Be afraid when you're standing still. Moving slowly, it's still getting you somewhere somehow, and it's still, there is something that you can learn from. When nothing is happening at the last, I don't know, half a year, 1 year, and you're at the same position as you were at the last year, that's when the panic should kick in, because that means that you are in your comfort zone on level 2 and playing again and again, and you don't want to discover what is on level 3, and that could be blocking you to discover so much more, and so many new opportunities that you have never even thought of.
I love that analogy, and it does make it sound much more fun. And life is a game anyway. I mean, it's we can't really control in it. There's anything can happen at any moment. So I think that's really, really insightful. What do you do? Because it sounds like with two businesses and all the travel you do as well, that feels like that would be a very exhausting lifestyle to lead. I know when I used to travel a lot, it was very hard and draining. What do you do to look after yourself and make sure that you have time to go slower or be still?
Well, it's a good question because I know I should do a lot more than I'm actually doing. So, these sleepless night of networking and the drinks and the events. But definitely the takeaway of this is that I get to speak to very interesting people, hearing very interesting thoughts and understanding different ways of seeing sometimes the same problem. And this is really giving me so much more benefit than the troubles of the traveling, because many times I'm just going to a country for 2 days. I haven't seen anything else but the hotel and the expo booth, and I'm just sitting back on the plane and coming back. But what I really like about those travels is that I get to speak to people, and mind, we are talking about money, so people need to be honest with me with their troubles and their fears, and even on how did they get their money. You get to know a lot of interesting stories, what gives you as well as a person some kind of development and different aspect of looking at things. And that's what I would say to everyone, that there's one thing what your friend, your family thinks about something, but get out there and talk to people that you wouldn't talk to otherwise. Go and talk to the person who is going to the mines, or go to talk to the farmer in the agricultural industry and see their perspective. Because even though it could be a different problem, your mind, your attitude towards certain situations change, even though that you apply it to your own industry. And sometimes there are some very important aha moments that you would never even thought that it's coming from that person. So those are the things that it gives me strength. Yes, I would say that there's a lot of things to do for me as well in terms of improving my health, but the mental well-being at least is there. So that's my hobby. I quite enjoy it.
Yeah. And what I hear from what you say about just getting out there and having that diversity of thought is, there's just seeing everything as an opportunity for collaboration and for sharing thought, because it's really incredible when minds come together, different perspectives come together on how creative we can be with new ideas and solutions, and to go into any sort of conversation, particularly when you're networking, with an open mind, without any judgment, and say there's something I can learn from this, and to not see people as a threat or as competition to you is a really valuable mindset shift to be in this space of collaboration. Do you think that's helped you grow your businesses, having that sort of outlook when you've been networking and growing your business?
I think it's a must. We all start as employees, at least, majority of us are starting as employees. So we have our cushy little paycheck, our safe world, and we don't even dare to think what's out there. But once you start to do your own thing, and you fail and you succeed, and life goes on, you develop a certain kind of mindset whereby you always look for the opportunities. And this is not something which lasts from 9 to 5. It really affects everything, how you see problems. So your personal problems seem to be resolved in a different manner when you were, for example, an employee, and you've got that mindset that, okay, I've got to work to live, not a life to work and develop something on my own. So I think this is the most important aspect that entrepreneurship can give to someone, that it puts you in the mindset of the solution finder. And it really affects every aspect of your life. And it was interesting because I had a chat with someone at the event, and the person told me that, you know what, I went really far and I'm in a C-level and I've got a really good job. And I don't know if I could give up that kind of certainty where I have the paycheck every month on my bank account. And it made me think that, to be honest with you, you don't really know if you have a job in 3 months, because it's not your it's not something that you have any kind of authority over. You just don't know. Someone else is making a decision, even though that you're a C-level management, that you are going to work on Monday or not, and you might pay the price for someone else's bad decisions. However, me as an entrepreneur, I know exactly what I'm going to do in 3 months, in 6 months, even in a year, because I am the one who is basically feeding myself and do all the financial planning. So if you put things in this kind of perspective, the safety around being an employee, it gets a whole different meaning versus being your own entrepreneur and, you know, going after your own dreams. So that's also something that you might want to consider when you start following your dreams, right?
No, exactly. So what one piece of advice would you give? I normally ask that maybe to your 16-year-old self, but actually let's take it to what, if you wind back to when day one of starting your entrepreneurial journey, what piece of advice would you have given yourself then with all the experience you've got now?
No one has a clue. Everybody is winging it. That's the biggest lesson I learned, that you sometimes talk to people and they're like, you know, multimillionaires, like owner of banks and politicians, and you're looking at the person and like, you got there. If you can do it, so can I. So yeah, have much more of a confidence in yourself, because you think that the world is run by people who got it all figured out. No, they don't. Everybody is trying to do their best, but you learn on the job, and don't be afraid of making mistakes, because everybody is doing them.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. Yeah, really good. So how's everyone getting up to the next level in that game they're playing? Yeah, for sure.
Isn't it? Yeah. You trust your gut and just go forward, and you have a bit of a recklessness in you that, okay, I'm gonna figure it out when I'm getting there. But overall, that's what I really see, that everybody is clueless and they are just hit and miss. You know, it's a huge luck element as well in that too. So
do you have a motto that you live by, or a series of mottos or something?
I believe in the big numbers. So I truly believe that if you try 10 times, chances are one is going to hit. If you try 100 times, then you've got 10 times more to hit. And if you try enough times, sooner or later something is going to hit. So that's why you need to reach out and try yourself in multiple projects, multiple ideas. I'm not saying that, you know, do the peanut butter medal when you're spreading yourself out there. So you're a writer and you're doing the podcast, and then you're working, and then you're, I don't know, gardening and doing everything. Not that, but within what you do, try out different aspects of it, because you just don't know which one is going to catch up and take you far. Again, I'm really thinking about it again like a game. So think about it. There's a darts game, and you've got unlimited amount of darts to hit the bullseye, but you're blindfolded. So if you hit enough times and you are consistently trying to hit and trying to find, sooner or later you're going to hit the bullseye. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in 20 years, but you keep trying, because it's all in the big numbers. Sooner or later something has to happen. It's statistically it's a fact.
Exactly. And what do you tell yourself in the days when hitting the bullseye feels impossible?
Keep on trying. I mean, you can't screw up everything. There has to be something coming up of that, and this is when the mindset of concentrating on the positive comes along. So I understand this didn't work out, but what did we learn, and how far are we compared where we were yesterday, and what are the good things, the good takeaways that you can take out from every situation. And if you try to concentrate on those things that you can change, and try to live with or ignore the things that you cannot, that again puts you in a solution perspective. So don't sit and cry over something which you can't do anything against. Just, change it or accept it, kind of thing. And then always look ahead, look forward, and do the next step. And sooner or later, as I said, you're going to hit something. It's just a question of time.
Well, thank you so much. I think you're clearly a very wise woman who has lots of experience behind you and a really strong mindset. So, which is, makes you the perfect guest for this. If people want to find out more about what you do, get in touch. I will put links in the show notes. But how else can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. You can find me on LinkedIn, Viktoria Soltesz, or through my company, PSP Angels. It's pspangels.com. You can find all the availabilities there. And I'm always here to even just to have a chat with someone who thinks that they got a problem with payments. That's what I'm working for, just to make payments easy. Payments should be easy. And that's my job to make sure that it gets as easy as it can be.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, and that's a great mission to be on. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much, Claire. Thank you. My pleasure. And thank you for everyone who was watching. And I'm looking forward to get any kind of new friend request connections on LinkedIn. So I'm here to chat with everyone. Thank you so much, Claire.
My pleasure.